Hello world, welcome back to another video. Now I'm really in the Halloween spirit at this time of the year. Yeah, I know it's only September, but I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. So today, this movie goes right along with this holiday, and it's actually called Halloween. I think you all know what I'm getting at. It's John Carpenter's 1978 classic Halloween. Now, before I get into my review of the movie, here's just some backstory. This movie was only made for $300,000. You might think that's a lot, but when you're filming, that is like nothing. And most of the money that they had to spend was all on film. So there are a couple holes with the actors. Some of them are not very good, but there's also two, in my opinion, that are really amazing in this movie. Now, the first actress I would like to talk about is, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. This was her first ever movie, and she does a phenomenal job in her role, and she definitely earns the title of Scream Queen just from this one movie, but as we know, she's been in many horror movies, and she will always be the OG Scream Queen. Number two, Donald Pleasence. Now, he is just amazing in this movie. His monologues are the best part of this movie. He really draws you in, and you really, really almost tap into Michael's head a little bit. You know, you get like a peek of what he thinks that Michael is thinking of, but we never actually know if he actually knows. Now, the town that is created for this movie is called Haddonfield, Illinois. This is the perfect setting for this type of movie. Deborah Hill and John Carpenter, who both wrote the script, they do a great job at establishing the small community that once had a boy kill his sister, and now he comes back on Halloween. And we cannot forget the iconic music composed by John Carpenter. He does a phenomenal job with all the noises and all the music in this movie. This is definitely a soundtrack to buy. Now, getting into some of the negatives of this movie, there's not too many negatives in this movie, but if I would have to pick the biggest negative, it would be some of the supporting characters are, kind of annoying, or they're just not good actors or actresses. But other than that, I really do think this movie is near perfect. And one of the most impressive things I think is, in this whole entire slasher movie, there's not 1 ounce of blood. Yes, when I was little, I used to think this movie was so bloody, and then I look at it now, and there's no blood. It's really amazing how Carpenter sets the mood and sets the tone and brings us in, and there's no blood, and we never realize that. Alright, so my final rating for this movie, I'm going to give this movie an A-. Yes, finally a good movie I reviewed. I know, well, I had a B-, but other than that, I had 2 straight horrible movies, one I couldn't even rate. But yeah, so I'm finally getting on the good movies. Hopefully, I review the rest of them. Now, there's a bunch of Halloween movies. Maybe I'll skip around and maybe I'll even get to some of the bad ones. Yeah, I know, I review a lot of bad movies. This is definitely a classic movie. I highly recommend you watch it. I watch it even in the summer when it's not even close to Halloween. So, this movie is amazing in every way. I gotta give it up to John Carpenter. He's one of my favorite directors, and he's definitely my favorite horror director. He has other classics that hopefully I'll review in the future. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.